Earlier we looked at creating macros. In fact, we created macros to apply filters to the target sheet. If we were to click these buttons run macros, 4 buttons, each running 4 individual macros. If I was to hit the button Kawato records, it would run the macro which turns on the filter and filters out the Kawato records. Likewise, the Toolbar records, the Tauranga records, and then the 4th button returns you to seeing all records. Also, early in this workbook, we went through macros with regards to custom views. If I went to sales, we had a button that showed us a detailed view, a quarterly view, and a summary view. So you may want to go back through earlier chapters to figure out how we actually created those macros and created those buttons. But this is where macros are formally addressed. When we made those buttons earlier, we had to turn on the Developers tab in the ribbon, and here it is here. If you are going to work with macros, either you're going to record macros or work with someone else's macros, you're going to need the Developers tab. To turn on the Developers tab, click on File, click on Options, and on the left-hand side, click the option Customize Ribbon. If the Developers option is ticked, you already have the Developers tab. But if it's not, you need to tick it, and then click OK. In addition to having the Developers tab visible, you also have to have a macro security level that is conducive to working with macros. On the Developers tab, you have a macro security button. If you click this button, you'll see a number of options. 3 of the options have varying levels of disabling macros. I believe that if you're going to work with macros, you need to enable all macros, and click OK. And the third aspect with regards to macros is if you're going to create macros in a certain file, you must save that file as a macro-enabled workbook and not an Excel workbook. I'm going to press the function key F12, which is the shortcut key for Save As. And this way I can show you that the Save As type option, instead of choosing to save it as an Excel workbook, which is an XLSX file, you must save it as an Excel macro-enabled workbook, which is an XLSM file. An XLSM file is able to host or contain macros, and an Excel workbook is not able to contain macros. So I'm going to click Save. And I'm working with an earlier file that we created earlier.